Today is a very exciting day. Today is the day we're introducing the parrots to little Minion, who is currently sound asleep after having a very big long feed. We have actually already done a pre-introduction by which we actually took him into their room while they were in their cages and introduced them that way just to gauge their reaction and how they would react to him. Lyra was not interested. She was very much more standoffish and chose to hide at the back of her cage. Quaffle went into cage rage and got very defensive and very angry. So we were a bit cautious with Quaffle. Then we introduced Quaffle first. We let Quaffle look at him from a distance so that we could have a better engagement of what her intentions were going to be. And she primarily just looked at him from a distance and then just wanted my shoulder. And then today is the first day that me and Jason actually have off together at home after all the crazy. It has been a mad first 10 days. It has been very difficult, but we now have both girls downstairs with us and we are doing very gentle introductions. I am being Minion protector to make sure that the girls do not get too close for comfort, too close for my comfort at least, just for the first half an hour while I get a better gauge of their personalities and reactions to him. Both girls are currently keeping their distance. Lyra is choosing to stay with Jason. She's mainly staying on his head. And Quaffle is also choosing to keep her distance. She's currently on the back of Jason's chair. Where's Jason go?
Blue back here.
Hello guys, so we are now 2 weeks postpartum. 2 whole weeks. Little Minion is currently 16 days old. 16 days already. It's just, or should I say this is his 16th day officially, unless you count day 1 as day 0. I don't know. He's currently asleep and we are trying to basically not be quiet when he's sleeping, or not specifically be quiet. We want him to be able to sleep through noise so that when he's down for a nap he can actually go down for a nap, and it does seem to be working. He is a sound sleeper currently. Don't know how that's going to change in the next few months, but he's currently a very sound sleeper. The newborn trenches have been trenching. They have been hard. It has been back-to-back midwife appointments every single day, appointments to go see UC, appointments with the health visitor, physiotherapy appointments because of my overactive bladder, everything in between. We've had family round in regards to grandparents and a couple of my friends who have been here for emotional support, and believe me, in that first week it was very much needed emotional support. With Jason being on his course for the first almost 5 days, or the first week that Minion was born, it was very, very difficult because I basically had to do everything myself, and there were several nights, especially during his growth spurts. Oh my god, the growth spurts were horrific. He was fussy and not settling for 7 hours straight, and I was running on like 10 hours sleep. It was a nightmare. Then I started to have problems with breastfeeding. I've actually had to stop breastfeeding after 10 days, I think it was. I persevered for 10 days, but the pain was something else. Sorry, he's currently dreaming, so you might hear a few squeaks in the background. But the pain was something else. I don't know what's causing the pain. I'm currently on referral to a breastfeeding specialist or the infant breastfeeding team in the hopes of trying to improve, but I've had 5 people now tell me that I'm doing everything right. My position is right, his latch is right, it's strong, but my nipples are just not holding the latch because they're starting off really peaky like they're meant to, or sometimes they're starting off soft. The health visitor suggested that my nipples might actually just be too big for his mouth, so he can't get a deep latch, because apparently they're meant to have the whole areola in their mouth, and I can only get maybe half of my areola plus the nipple into his mouth at any one time, because my boobs and my chest is just so big that it doesn't physically fit in his tiny little mouth. And I actually had confirmation of one of my sisters who are also very, very big chested, or should I say my other sister who is very big chested. The other one has what would be deemed as normal size boobs, but she still has big boobs in comparison to the average person. Sorry, you didn't really need to know that about my sisters, but what I'm trying to say is the chest is genetic. My whole family have naturally enlarged gifts. Let's put it that way. Where was I going with this? I can't remember. I found out from my sister who has almost equally large chests, or almost as equally large chest. She doesn't have as large chest as mine, but it's very close in comparison. She had the same problem with her firstborn. She actually gave up after 3 days of breastfeeding because the pain was so intense. I don't know how, but I managed to push through the first 10 days, and it got to the point where I was quite literally terrified, genuinely terrified of feeding my son, because the pain was so bad. It was so bad, and it was only ever on one side at first, and then the other side started to get a bit more sensitive towards the end of the 10 days, and I just couldn't do it anymore. I was in so much pain. One of my best friends, Simone, came to the rescue. She actually sold me her old hospital breast pump, which is the Spectra. This one here. It's a dual breast pump, which is very handy, although it's not as powerful when you're doing two at once. But it works. It works. It gets things out with pretty much no pain. And that's all I wanted. That's all I needed. I just needed less pain, because it is so painful. So painful having him on my chest. I was genuinely having emotional meltdowns just at the thought of feeding him, because I was so scared of the pain. It was literal torture. So the last 5 days where I've actually been able to use the pump has been a lot better. I still feel guilty that I'm not breastfeeding him, or that I'm not able to breastfeed because of the pain. And you can't really explain it. You shouldn't feel guilty, because you're still feeding him, he's still getting breast milk. We did end up getting formula as a backup, but I'll explain that in a minute. But it's weird, you can't help but feel guilty that you're not providing in a natural way. It's a weird sensation, and you do feel guilty for it. But I have to remember and remind myself that he's still being fed, he's still eating, he's still getting lots of food, and God, is he getting lots of food. This child is a glutton. I have read so many different things about what stage of development and what they should be, or what stages they should be at each section. And at week 2, coming into week 3, he should be eating about 2 to 3 fluid ounces, or if you're UK, 60 to 90 millilitres of milk or breast milk per feed. This boy is going through 130 to 180 ml of breast milk per feed, and I am not even joking. It's like my mum used to say to me when I was younger that I used to drink her dry, literally, and I can see why, because he most definitely has my appetite, and he's definitely got Jason's fast metabolism, because he should not be putting away 2 to 3 times more than the average baby his age, but he's having anywhere between 120 to 150 millilitres of breast milk or formula per feed, per damn feed. This boy is drinking me dry. And that is actually the reason we got the formula, because when I did start pumping and I started to see how much I was making, I'm not actually making enough to satisfy him. And I'm not even, I've only just these last couple of days started producing enough breast milk to actually satisfy him per feed. And it was getting to a point where we were having to top him up with formula, because I was only producing about 90 to 100 mils from both boobs, and he was needing 130 to 150 mils per feed. So we were having to top him up with formula for a few days until my boobs could catch up. And my God, this boy, he has the normal amount of feeds. He has like 8 to 12 feeds a day, and it is hard to keep up with him. It is really hard to keep up with him. We were really hoping that if I did end up pumping, I could get a backup supply and we could have all this sort of stuff ready to go so that Jason could help with the feeds. And it is nice that he is now on the bottle and not directly on my boob, because Jason can help with the feeds, but it is really, really freaking hard to keep ahead of him when he's drinking so much. He's also way ahead of any milestones that he's meant to be having. His first milestone was meant to be able to lift his head and start looking around, or to start lifting his head up of his own accord. Apparently that should be happening from week 3, aka now. He did that from 3 days old. 3 days old. This boy is already lifting his head and starting to look around. And within the last 4 or 5 days, he started twisting and up and down and really moving his head. He is weeks ahead of what he should be able to do. It also said that around the 2 to 3 month marker, he should start showing signs of trying to roll over or learning to roll over. This boy is 16 days old and he already started showing signs of trying to learn to roll over 2 days ago at 2 weeks old. This boy's a fast learner. This boy's an eager learner. This boy is going to be running us ragged when he gets a bit older because he is already way ahead of his baby milestones. At first we were worried that he was eating too much and that maybe he wasn't getting satisfied or something was wrong. No, turns out he's just a glutton. Everything is going through him perfectly normally. His wees are normal, his poos are normal. He just has a really big appetite like me and a really fast metabolism like his dad, which is it's a dangerous combination. It's a very dangerous combination, but hopefully it means he'll be a nice fit boy when he's older. I say a nice fit boy, like healthy, being able to process food quickly and be very athletic like his dad, which would be nice. And I am athletic at heart. My body makes it difficult for me to be athletic, but we're trying to change that. That is one of the goals this year, is to get back into calisthenics and try and change that perspective of just because I have a bigger, more rounded, curvier body doesn't mean I can't do the fit athletic stuff like other people. And I'm actually loving there's more and more creators coming out that have the bigger, curvier bodies and doing some amazing things. Like I saw one today of a guy who was, I want to call him fluffy, and that's, I don't like to refer to someone's size as a term, but he was in a bigger body, not an extremely bigger body, a bit bigger than me, but a bigger body, and he was doing skipping rope while doing flips and jumps and worms and spring handstands and all sorts. And I'm like, damn boy, yes, that is how you do it. Prove the people wrong. Because you don't need to look like you have 1% body fat to be fit and healthy. You don't. And a lot of people misjudge that, and I'm one of the people that want to prove that theory wrong. I've already proved it wrong several times with my blood results in the doctors, and now I want to prove it wrong in my physical abilities as well. Anyway, I'm going off topic. The last few days have been a lot easier. We still had a lot of appointments. We still had a lot of midwives appointments. We had to register him. I had a universal credit appointment this morning. So with all the appointments, we've had an appointment nearly every single day, or if we've not had an appointment, we've had someone round helping us or supporting us in some way, shape or form. It's been a hectic 2 weeks. This first 2 weeks was meant to be go home, rest, get used to life with baby, and it has not been that. It has been anything but. I have been me and Jason have still been run around ragged for God knows how long, and things are only just calming down. This new week 3, is the first week we're actually going to have some peace and hopefully start to build a routine and get used to this new life, which we're already starting to get used to it, but we've just not had a chance to really settle and get used to it, if you know what I mean. We have done a few walks. We've walked to the shops a couple of times. We've took him out in his pram and it's been really lovely and really nice. We are still getting used to what we need to pack in the backpack. The backpack is very handy though. Very handy. I'm so grateful that my friend actually bought me that backpack. Little Minion, I am determined to still refer to him as Minion, again for his own personal privacy, just in case he never wants social media or never wants to be on the internet. I am trying to respect that boundary, that he may be like his dad and not want to be on social media or not want to be online. And we also want to discourage him from wanting to watch TikTok every single day of every single hour like most of the generation at the moment. Minion is a very easy baby so far. I say easy. He's not easy, but he is easy compared to other babies. He doesn't cry very loud. He does cry, but not very loud and not for very long. It's usually because he wants something specific. Whether or not it's a nappy change or a feed, we can usually tell straight away which one it is. And again, as soon as he gets it, the crying stops, and I've been able to learn baby language pretty quickly. For anyone that doesn't know what baby language is, it's something that got discovered, I want to say, a few years back, where certain sound, it's like universal noises that all babies make to try and communicate what they want from you. So like ne, heh, like there's different sounds, but if you can pick up on what those sounds are, you can actually work out what your baby wants a lot faster. I've been trying those with little Minion and they work. They really do work. I am able to work out what is wrong with him straight away by learning those different sounds and what each little different sound means. There's only like 5 or 6 sounds. So if you're pregnant or if you have a newborn and you don't know about baby language or the baby language sounds, go on Google, have a look, find the videos about it. There are really easy sounds to differentiate, and it will help a lot, a hell of a lot. Another reason that he is such an easy baby is that once you actually sort him out, he just goes down and sleeps. Sometimes he'll sleep for 2 hours before he wants his next feed. Sometimes he'll go down for 3 to 4 hours. I think the longest stint he's done so far is 5 hours, which I was getting a bit tentative with that one. It was part of his growth spurts where he had a really long sleep and then a really long wake period and fussy period. But in general, he is a really easy baby. He's easy to learn the cues of. He sleeps most of the day. He's not really very fussy. He doesn't like having a dirty nappy. He really doesn't like having a dirty nappy, which we've gone through a lot of nappies. We've gone through a lot of nappies very quickly. But other than that, it's been bliss. The bond with him didn't hit me straight away. I think I mentioned this in my last video. The bond didn't hit me straight away when he was born, but it is definitely built now. I absolutely love him and I just want to cuddle him all the time. I can't cuddle him all the time. I need to get things done. So a lot of the time he does sleep in his Moses basket or his cot. And we are so grateful that he's not one of these babies that doesn't like being in his Moses basket or cot. He doesn't mind. So long as he is sound asleep when he goes in there, he's conked out for the next few hours and he sleeps all the way through. He is such a good boy. He's at that stage now where he's starting to look around and get to know the world, and he's looking around, his eyes are open, he's fascinated with the world, and he loves looking outside. And I can't wait to see, or I can't wait for him to develop that little bit more. He's already started focusing on us and started looking at our faces when we feed him. And so I've started singing to him during his feeds, usually the alphabet or some sort of numbers song. I need to actually start expanding all my memory of nursery rhymes and stuff like that, so I can actually start singing to him more when he's eating, because that is a very good way for babies to learn speech and stuff like that. And when he really does start focusing, I'm going to start teaching him sign language as well, just the basics like hello, how are you, thank you, please, good morning, good afternoon, good night, food, wee, poo, milk, the basic communication that he needs, and hopefully he will start picking it up. Apparently sign language is actually much easier for babies to learn than speech. Speech requires a lot of tongue usage, whereas sign language is a lot more physical, so it's easier to learn, it's easier to read. So I'm really hoping to teach him sign language or teach him basic sign language to help him communicate when he's just a couple more weeks older. But it's been fun. It's been challenging, it's been hard, it's been emotional. The baby blues, oh my god. The baby blues are still hit and miss. They basically send your emotions tenfold. So when you're happy, you're really happy. When you're sad, you're crying. When you're angry, you're really angry. The baby blues are literally, every emotion is just tenfold. Literally tenfold. When you're down and when you're having a rough time, which you would usually be able to handle really well, you're suddenly struggling to handle it because your emotions are just everywhere. The baby blues are hard. The baby blues are challenging, but they're temporary. They're temporary. They don't mean postnatal depression or anything like that. There's just, granted, some people do have postnatal depression. I, thankfully, so far do not have it. Apparently it can appear any time up until little Lynn is like 1 or 2 years old. So far I've not got postnatal depression. I'm doing perfectly fine. It's just the baby blues hitting and sending my emotions skyrocketing, but things are going good. In other news, now that we are 2 weeks postpartum, I'm actually allowed to do some light exercise again. It's because I had surgery. Ooh, someone's getting restless. It's nearly dinner time. I need to go get his milk out the fridge. Yeah, definitely gonna need to get his milk out the fridge. He's getting really unsettled. Now that we're 2 weeks post-surgery or postpartum, if you don't know what I mean by that, go check out my birth story. And I don't know if I put it into a birth story part 1 and 2, or if it's just one big birth story, I don't know. Go check out my birth story. That will explain what I mean by post-surgery. But now that I am 2 weeks post-surgery, I'm allowed to start very gentle exercises again. As you know, we've already been out on walks. I did have to start that slowly, and my God, I have lost stamina. Just walking to the shops and back is knackering. Like worse than when I was pregnant. It's so tiring because I've had to spend so much time resting and recovering, and sleep deprivation, obviously, which we're actually handling sleep deprivation pretty well so far. But I'm allowed to start gentle exercises again, so I'm allowed to go out on more walks. I'm allowed to start doing stretches and exercises like I did during my 3rd trimester, just to help move my body, stretch my muscles, get myself a little more active. And I still have to wait for week 6 before I can start doing any serious exercise. So getting back into my calisthenics, getting back into running or anything like that. I still have to wait for week 6, so there's still 4 weeks to go before I can do that. But we're nearly there. We're 2 weeks in. My figure is also almost back to normal. I've actually gone down really, really quickly compared to some other women. I still have the pregnancy belly podge. It's still very flabby down there. I will show you in a minute, but please keep in mind I do not have a bra on. I have not worn a bra, with the exception of when we've had to go to appointments, for 2 weeks, because my God, it is painful. I'm already in the biggest size of the UK, and my boobs are actually now bigger than that size when they're full of milk, and it hurts. It really hurts to actually wear a bra in any way, shape or form. And I can't get a bigger size. I physically can't get a bigger size. I know, Baba. I know. Yeah, he's about to wake up for food, so I'm going to have to finish this vlog here in a minute. I'm going to quickly show you what stage my belly is at, and then I'm going to have to feed little man here because he's getting really unsettled. So this is my postpartum belly at 2 weeks. It's actually not too bad. I've still got a long way to go, but I'm pretty much back to the way I was, almost, pre-pregnancy, which is nice. So yeah, I'm almost back to my pre-pregnancy body size, which I don't care, because as far as I'm concerned, my body should not matter anymore. I'm a mum. I grew a human in my body. Do you have any idea how amazing that is? So the last thing I care about anymore is, like, I'd already stopped somewhat caring about what my aesthetics look like anyway pre-pregnancy, but now I really don't give a damn, because every time I look at my body, regardless of how saggy and how podgy, how big my boobs are, how saggy my legs are, or how big my bum is, I'm always reminding myself, I grew a child. I grew an entire human in this body. I don't give a damn what it looks like. This body is amazing. This body is magical. This body did things that a lot of people struggle with or can't do. And I am so grateful for that. And I will always be grateful for my body for that. So I don't care how it looks. I don't care how saggy it is. I don't care how podgy it is. I don't care how flabby it is or how non-aesthetically pleasing it is. My body is amazing. My body is amazing. It did things that I didn't think possible. And right now, yep, there he is. He's wide awake. Hi, Baba. Come here. Come on. Yay, Superman! Please excuse me. I am going to feed little Minion now because he is getting very hungry and very unsettled. Aren't you? Is it dinner time? As usual, I've made my tea and now I can't eat my tea because he's hungry at the same time. But it's fine. We don't care, do we? We don't mind. Honestly, I just want to cuddle him and snuggle him all day. See what I mean about the lifting of the head? He's not meant to do that for another 2 weeks, or for another week at least, and yet you've been doing it for days now. Yeah, you've been doing it for days. Anyway, I'm going to get this little guy fed. So thank you for watching, guys, and I will see you in my next postpartum update.